I got a tail.
I'm the Cincinnati Bengals Super Bowl trophy case. I don't exist. The best candy of all time.
Welcome back, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Halloween. It is spooky season. Halloween is tonight. We got football. We got trick-or-treaters. Weather's cold. What more can you ask for?
I'm hiding in my basement tonight.
I will have the lights off. And no, actually, I'm probably going trick-or-treating with my nephews tonight. I'm not going to lie.
I'm not going trick-or-treating with your nephews.
You should join us. It would be fun. I'm going to probably drag them around in a wagon, and it's going to be a good time. But you can shut the lights down, shut that hash down.
We got the Jets and the Texans on tonight.
The Jets need a...
The kid knocks on my door. I'm going to hand him a Bud Light.
Just hand him an Aaron Rodgers Jets jersey so tell him that they can use it as a fire starter. Let's get into top of the morning news. This one's really short because we had an episode yesterday. We kind of covered everything that's gone on throughout the week. But if you didn't see last night, the Los Angeles Dodgers take home the World Series. They beat the Yankees 4-1. We haven't really broke down any baseball this year, but let's break it down a little bit. The Yankees are up 5-0 in a do-or-die game. They're down 3-1. They need this at home to keep the series alive. And in the fifth inning, they decide to turn into the bad news Bears. Angels in the outfield, Angels before the Angels. They look like doo-doo. They make three crucial errors. Judge has a drop in center field like an idiot. Shortstop can't field or throw a ball to third base that's 10 feet away from him. He throws it at his ankles. And then Rizzo fields a ground ball at first, and he's looking to toss it to the pitcher for an easy out, and the pitcher is pointing at him like, hey, first base is right there if you want to tap that.
That's your job.
Your job as a pitcher is to get over. Get over. Cover the bag. You got to cover the bag there. They make three crucial errors. The Dodgers capitalize on that, tie the game. It goes back and forth. Yankees take the lead. Then the Dodgers take the lead back, and they close it out in the bottom of the ninth to win on the road in New York. Congrats to the two teams that buy all their players to win the World Series.
All I was doing is watching Yankees fan reactions last night, just scrolling on social media, watching them react to that inning, and it just made my heart happy.
Yeah,
it really did.
Moving on, that was our little baseball talk. Baseball season's done. If you're a Dodgers fan, congrats. We'll see you guys next year probably. You guys are going to be really good again. Yankees, y'all still suck. Keep living in the past. That's all you guys can do. Let's move on to a little NFL news. It's only two things this week, but Jordan Love did say it's realistic. He thinks it's realistic that he plays on Sunday versus the Lions, even though he hasn't practiced this week. They're gonna need him.
They need him for sure.
They got a wagon coming, and they're gonna need him. And lastly, the Panthers named Bryce Young the starter this Sunday against the Saints. Andy Dalton is back to being healthy after that accident he suffered, but they're sticking with Young. Maybe after a couple weeks off and learning, maybe he can look a little bit better than he did. They did lose Deontay Johnson to your Ravens, so interesting to see how the offense looks, but that's pretty much the top of the morning news. As you can see, I'm in an Eeyore outfit. I'm Eeyore. I'm the depressed donkey from Winnie the Pooh, and some of you guys might be asking, Matt, why did you choose that? Well, I made a graphic here that we'll put up of all my legs, all my parlay that I've lost by one legs this year. There's like 50 of them, and that's why I chose Eeyore, because every time I put money on a player, they forget how to play football. Like, for instance, our last week's underdog slip on Morningwood, we had Jared Goff over 200. I chose 219 yards because I figured that's a cakewalk. He's averaging one of the highest in the league passing yards per game, and he threw for 85 yards. We don't have him on the slip. You'll find out that later today, and he'll probably throw for he'll probably set the single game record this week. So that's how betting has gone for me. That's why I chose Eeyore, the dog.
That's how betting goes.
that is how betting goes. So those are all my parlays that I lost by one leg. But that's top of the morning news. That's why I'm dressed like this. Happy Halloween. Let's move on and pass it to Jason.
We have an Antonio Brown tweet of the day. We kind of have a banger here. Roll the clip.
Kicks him in. Antonio Brown.
Go on social media, man. This is about us. Nobody else, man.
We got AB. I mean, if you follow AB, you know he's on Diddy. Like he gets on him every day. He has some kind of Diddy tweet. But this one might be the best out of all of them. It's DK Metcalf. It's the clip of DK Metcalf chasing down the interception, like chasing him, 80, 90 yards. But it's Diddy chasing Meek Mill with some baby oil. Can't let the baby oil get away. Diddy chasing it down and tackling this man. I mean, this is amazing tweet.
That is an all-timer. That is an all-timer.
Yeah.
It only has 7,000 likes. It should have like 700.
I think he just 11 hours ago. Yeah. I mean, insane.
It needs more. It needs
insane. I can't wait for AB to get back on his football stuff. Every weekend, like on Sundays, it's usually pretty good. But right now, it's just vote all this Tim Wall stuff. So I can't wait till the election's over and we get back to some regular AB. Depending on the result of the election, we will see what happens on AB.
If it goes one way, he might never stop tweeting.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. All right. Yeah, let's move on.
Let's talk about some NFL. We always start with NFL. Let's get into our week 9 picks. We are in a close race. I'm only up by 2. It's been neck and neck all year. And this week's slate, it don't look great. I'm not a rapper. But let's get into the picks, starting with tonight. We have the injured, kind of plagued Texans on offense, especially in the wide receiver department, going to the 2-6 Jets. I don't even know who I want to pick in this, so I'm going to toss it to you.
This is kind of crazy. I believe the Jets opened as favorites. I think everyone smashed the Texans, so the line flipped a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know where I want to go with this. I mean, the Texans don't have Nico Collins and they don't have Stephon Diggs.
It's huge.
It is huge. The Jets, they're on their last leg, honestly. I'm just going to pick the Jets at home because I think Nico Collins, obviously the offense doesn't look good without him, and then they lose Stephon Diggs. They're going to have to really ride Joe Mixon, Tank Dell. But I still think the Jets, they got their personnel. They have really good players everywhere. Their situational football has just been bad. Maybe they figure it out tonight. They need to.
I'm going to go on the opposite side of this. I'm going to stick with the Texans. I think they have the better coach and quarterback combo at the moment going into this game, obviously. And the Jets, like you said, situationally and in crunch time and the important downs, they haven't been good. They haven't really been a great third down offense, I don't believe, statistically. They just look sloppy, and their coach is a big question mark. It's a next guy up at coach. And I'm just going to take D'Amico Ryans and the boys to maybe squeak one out. I don't think it'll be convincing or anything, but give me the Texans. I'll take the next game so you can talk about your Ravens. Let me break this down quick. Both of these teams I don't like. I know the Falcons won, but they are up and down. And the Cowboys, I mean, good Lord. I'm going to take – I picked against them a lot, but I'm going to go with the Falcons at home. Their offense has looked good most of the time this year. Give me Kirk Cochains at home. I'm believing you. If they lose this game to these Cowboys at home, I'm never picking the Falcons the rest of the year. I don't care.
I don't know where I want to go with this one either. I've been high. I think the Cowboys. I don't know why I still think they're a good team after watching them. I don't know. I'm going to go with the Falcons just because it's in Atlanta. And I like their offense. Their defense is decent. Dak Prescott just proves every week that he's just not the guy.
He's really not.
So the Ravens are 9-point favorites against the Broncos. Somehow the 5-3 Broncos against the 5-3 Ravens.
That's crazy.
I'm going to pick the Ravens. A huge bounce back. Obviously, we need a win. Hopefully the defense shows up. Bo Nix might throw for 350 yards against us, but hopefully we score more points.
Yeah, I'm agree. I'll agree with you on this and keep it short. I got the Ravens. It always scares me when you guys are big favorites.
We're always big favorites, no matter what. It's stupid.
I never like that, but I think you guys have the better offense. You guys have the MVP, arguably front runner, the offensive player of the year. Give me the Ravens at home.
There's a rookie quarterback. We don't lose to rookies normally, so that's good.
Yeah, Harbaugh will have a game plan. Give me the Ravens at home after losing to Mr. Crab Legs last week.
Trash.
That's actually crazy. Moving on, we got a divisional game. We got the Dolphins with Tua back. They did lose last weekend, but they go to the kind of hot Buffalo Bills. They've picked it up a little bit in the last couple of weeks after your Ravens beat them. I'll make it short. I got the Bills at home. They're kind of one of the best teams in the league. They have my MVP right now in Josh Allen, and I just don't like Mike McDaniels as a coach anymore really at all. So give me the Bills.
Yeah, give me the Bills as well. I think their defense has been playing really well. Tua, I don't know about him. Mike McDaniels, I don't know about him either. Give me the Bills. Then we got the Saints and the Panthers.
This was close game of the week.
This is our matchup of the week, actually. Now, I don't know. Is Derek Carr back? I haven't heard any news from the Saints.
Derek Carr, I think they said that he is likely to return, and he was quoted saying he's no savior. I don't like that from your quarterback at all, saying that, but he's supposed to be back.
Okay. Then give me the Saints. If Derek Carr's back, give me the Saints. I guess a big division matchup. I don't know. Not really, I guess.
No, it's not a trash.
But yeah, give me the Saints on the road. The Panthers suck.
I'd rather watch a MAC conference game than this. Give me the Saints as well. They have Derek Carr back. Bryce Young will be starting for the Panthers. He hasn't looked great. The Panthers, I mean, who knows what they even are going to look like on Sunday. Give me the Saints. Hopefully they look like anything close to what they did the first 2 weeks. So yeah, give me the Saints.
Perfect.
You got it.
This is my favorite team.
That's why I want it.
The Raiders go to the Bengals. I guess I have to pick the Bengals here. The Raiders actually stink. This might be my first week ever picking the Bengals. I hope they lose, but I'm picking the Bengals.
I am agreeing. I am picking the Bengals as well. The Raiders, they did give Kansas City a little bit trouble last week. They made it a little bit of game off that interception and the on the goal line. Or I guess
Max Crosby could win this game for them. I hope he does.
He could. TJ Watt does it for us some weekends, so maybe he can. I'm going to take Cincinnati. I think T. Higgins is back. I think should be back. So I like the offense. Again, this team is literally, if Joe Burrow throws for 400 yards and like 3 touchdowns, they're probably going to win. And if he doesn't, they suck. So the Bengals. Moving on, we got my sleeper team of the year. They are winning, but it's usually ugly. They haven't scored, I don't think, 30 points. Their offense hasn't looked great. Justin Herbert needs help. This guy is like top 3, and his receivers, they look like me out there in a onesie.
Vlad McConkey is a dog.
He is good. He just needs a number 1 to help him out. But they go to the Jameis Winston, I'm assuming, continued led Brands, who are coming off a win against your Ravens. Nick Chubb, did he have a good game? I don't even remember.
Ran for 50 yards.
Okay, so he didn't have a great game, but that's the Ravens for you. I don't know how I want to sway towards the better coached quarterback, so I'm going to lean towards the Chargers, but I wouldn't actually be shocked if they lose this game. They haven't looked great all season. They haven't looked awful, but give me the Chargers on the road.
It's definitely a letdown spot. If you can bet Jameis Winston's interceptions, like over 1 interception, just put your entire house, everything on him throwing an interception this week.
Like
against the Chargers.
His props 0.5.
Yeah. It might be 1.5, honestly. But give me the Chargers. I think this is a letdown spot, obviously, for the Browns coming off a big win for them against the Ravens.
That's fair.
Then a division matchup, the Commanders go to New York. Give me the Commanders. The Giants looked horrible against the Steelers on Monday night. They're just a bad football team. Commanders coming off the big win, the Hail Mary win. I just like the Commanders. I just like everything about them, and I don't like anything about the Giants.
I bet I'm gonna agree with you on everything you just said. Give me the Commanders. I think they improved to 7-2 on the road against the Giants. The Giants. I mean, it's kind of crazy that their coach won Coach of the Year like 2 years ago, and now he's
Dayball,
Dayball is like could probably be fired. So give me the Commanders. Moving on, we got another dog caca game. Not a great slate for the NFL this week. Kind of terrible. Another game just like the Saints and Panthers that I probably will not tune into at all unless it's on Red Zone and somebody scores, which I doubt will happen. The Patriots go to the Titans. I'm going to make it short. I actually don't even know who I'm picking, so I'm going to go off a gut instinct here. Give me Is Rudolph still the quarterback?
I believe he will be, yeah.
So Will Levis isn't back. If Will Levis was playing this game, I would just pick the Titans just for fun because it's so much fun to watch him. But give me New England on the road to beat Tennessee. I don't even care about this game. I don't even care if I lose it. That's all I'm saying. Like, I don't even care.
I think the Patriots – I'm going to pick the Patriots in this one. The Titans have just shown nothing that they are a competitive football team. They just got blown out by 40. The Patriots just got a big win against the Jets. Maybe Gerard Mayo saying his team is soft has kind of changed the vision of what they feel like in that locker room. So give me the Patriots.
Could have hit them right in the soul.
Might have changed something. And the Bears go to Arizona. This is kind of an interesting game here.
Kind of a sleeper.
Kind of a sleeper. It definitely could be good. I don't know where I want to pick this one. I'll let you pick.
Okay, I know where I'm going because
I know because you hate the Bears.
I don't hate the Bears, but the fans, listen, Bears fans, you guys gotta stop. You haven't done anything. You haven't won anything. You got to 4-2 because you played the AAC conference games and you beat a couple of teams. You beat like the Panthers, and I don't even remember who you beat, but just the Bears fans on social media just talking crazy. Relax. They're yapping. The Cardinals, listen, Kyler Murray just hit dark matter and hit
prestige 10.
And he's already proceeded, so he's on a high right now, and he's gonna come out throw 4 touchdowns because of it. So give me the Cardinals at home to beat the Bears and start this. Like I said, the Bears are remaining in the schedule. Mark it down. They're winning 2 games the rest of the season, maybe 3, maybe that might be the most. It starts this Sunday. Give me the Arizona Cardinals at home.
I don't know where to go with this one. I'm going to pick the Bears just because I need to catch up and try to get you. I think the Cardinals, you never know what you're going to get from the Cardinals, I feel like, and hopefully it's one of those games. The Bears technically should have beaten the Commanders last week, so give me the Bears. Why not?
Okay, that's fair. Moving on, we got the Jaguars go to Philly.
Sorry.
Philly looking – that's okay. You have dogs. They're allowed to bark. The Eagles, coming off a big win, they destroyed the Bengals on the road. The Jaguars, what did they do last week? I don't even remember. Give me Philly at home to keep it rolling. The offense is looking better. Still don't like Nick Sirianni because he's a bit of a psycho. But give me the Eagles to kind of take care of the Jags at home. It could be a little bit of a trap game, in my opinion, because the Eagles haven't looked great. They've been going in the right direction, but give me the Eagles at home.
I agree with you. I'm going to take the Eagles. The Jags just haven't shown anything. I really like the Eagles. They played well against who did they beat? The Bengals. They dominated the Bengals.
Yeah.
The Jags, just the morale in that locker room just has to be bad. Give me the Eagles at home.
Yeah.
Then we get our matchup of the week, NFC North battle right here. The Lions go to the Packers. The winner of this game will take first place, take the lead in the NFC North, the best division in football. I don't know. I got to take the Lions. There's no way I can pick against the Lions right now. Is Jordan Love going to play? We don't really know. I think he says he's realistic.
I think he wants to. Like, I think he's pushing to him wanting to play. I don't know about like getting cleared to play, but
okay. Yeah, I like the Lions.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. Lions, like I said last week, we're going to break this game down here in a little bit because it is the matchup of the week. I love seeing this division play. I hope that Love is healthy because I want it to all, when these teams play, I want it to all be fair, healthy, just good games. But give me the Lions on the road. They won in here I think, in Lambeau last year. So give me the Lions to do the same thing again.
Then we have
Another division
kind
game.
of a sleeper game, I guess, like probably the second best game of the week. With the
Very important.
healthy-ish Rams, definitely an important game. Go to Seattle, who hasn't looked great recently. They just got dominated by the Bills, and then the Rams get a big win against the Vikings. I kind of like the Rams to keep this momentum going with Kupp and Puka Nacua back. Stafford looked good. I think the Rams keep it going here.
Yeah, I have a question mark on this game because I've picked the Seahawks twice at home this year to beat the Giants. They didn't. To beat the Bills, they didn't. The Bills, I get. The Bills are a lot better than Giants, but they looked like doo-doo against the Giants. And I have a weird feeling in my bunions that if I pick the Rams, Goff, Stafford's going to look exactly like he did when I put money on him, look lost out there. And then if I don't pick the Seahawks, they'll win at home. And I'm double guessing myself. So give me the Seahawks at home. It's the last time I'm picking y'all at home unless you play like the Panthers or something. If y'all don't get it done, it's a big division game. You have lost like 3 of the last 4 or 5. I don't even remember. You need to win this game, and you better win this one. Give me a Seahawks. I'm serious. If they lose this game, I'm done. I'm off the band. I'm off the Seahawk wagon. Me and Thor are at. We're at. Moving on, we got the, something about Joe Flacco that I miss.
I miss, man.
We got the Colts.
Passer.
We got the Colts. They go to Minnesota, who has dropped 2 in a row. They go on the road to a tough place to play. I'll make it kind of short. I love me some Flacco, but I love this coaching staff a little bit more in Minnesota. They lost 2 in a row. I like them to bounce back and look like they did the first 4 weeks. They kind of should have won last week, in my opinion, against the Rams. They had an opportunity to go do it. They kind of got cheated. I think they used that to kind of beat up on these Colts.
I mean, I don't think they should have won. They had to drive the entire field and score a touchdown in like a minute and convert a 2-point conversion. But I do like the Vikings well.
They should have won because I didn't put money on Stafford, so he should have looked just like he did the last 3 weeks. And they should have won.
Should have won is crazy. But I do like the Vikings to bounce back. The Colts, they don't have a lot of weapons. I mean, I like Joe Flacco, obviously. I think he'll be competitive in this game. But I just think the Vikings defense will be too much. And then that offense gets going. Justin Jefferson has a big game.
Yeah, you want to round it out?
Monday Night Football. The Bucs go to Kansas City. The injured Bucs, no Mike Evans, no. I don't know if Mike Evans is back. He might be back on the hamstring, but I doubt it. And then obviously Chris Godwin out for the year. I guess I'll keep picking the Chiefs. You can't go against them. I think they're 8-point favorites, which I think might be a little bit too much against this offense. But the Chiefs defense looks too good, and I think Patrick Mahomes obviously always does enough on offense to win.
Yeah, I agree. Give me the Chiefs at home. I'm unfortunate for the Bucs because they are a good team and they're kind of in the race for that division with Atlanta, and it's just not a good time to be getting injuries. And then you face the Chiefs on the road on a primetime game. That's unfortunate. But give me the Chiefs at home to continue the undefeated stretch they've been going with. And that's our Week 9 picks right there.
Those are our picks.
Lock them in. It's a close race. I'm up by 2. We'll see how we do.
I think we only have 2. We're only on 2 different sides, I believe.
Yeah.
You picked the Seahawks. Oh, no, we're on 3 different. I picked the Bears. You have the Cardinals. I have the Rams. You have the Seahawks. And then I have the Jets tonight.
Yes.
And you have the Texans.
Yeah. So I'm going to win all 3 of these.
I'm winning all 3 of these. And then I'm going to take the lead by 1.
I got the power.
Do it.
Eel.
Do it. And then I'm going to say, boom.
We bring the boom.
Let's go to the matchup of the week. Like we said, Lions go to Lambeau Field to take on the Packers. We got the NFC North
Bears. Oh my.
matchup of the week. The 6-1 Lions
wagon,
who are coming off of a 50 burger, putting up a 50 against the Titans. They go to Lambeau Field, like I said, to visit the 6-2 Packers in a battle for first place in the NFC North. The Packers are coming off back-to-back games in which their newly acquired kicker, Brandon McManus, has kicked the game-winning field goal as time expires. That's how they won back-to-back games. The Lions, they've won some games kind of differently, kind of convincingly. They've won 5 straight. The Packers have won 4 straight. Jordan Love injured his groin last Sunday. Realistically, could play this week. We don't know if it's confirmed or not. I think if he can go, he probably will go in this division matchup, especially against the Lions, who've just been winning in every way possible, putting up 52 points. Jared Goff only throwing for 86 yards. Got to be some kind of record there. I don't know what that's about. I also just love Dan Campbell as a coach. I'm just rooting for that guy to have success. Like I always think about when he had that press conference when he was hired as the Lions head coach. I'm going to bite a leg off. I'm going to bite a knee off. We're going to get knocked down. We're going to get back up again. And then people were clowning him for saying everything, but he's proven that he deserved that job. I'm just excited for this matchup. And then we get to see it again in a few weeks on primetime, Thursday Night Football. These two teams play, I think, December 5th. So I'm excited for that one too.
Yeah. I hope that the rest of the way when this division starts playing each other, because, again, they've been the best division we've maybe ever seen. I hope that everybody's healthy. So I'm hoping Love gets healthy and plays in this game. And like you said, they have a matchup coming up here soon. So the Lions, arguably the best team in the NFL. It's kind of a toss-up for me between like 3 teams, but they're looking like a wagon. We have another NFC North matchup as the matchup of the week. We had the Vikings and the Lions, right?
What?
The last matchup
for the
NFC North. Yeah.
Lions,
So another, I wouldn't be surprised if every time this division plays, not matchup of the week.
Yeah.
So I'm banking on Love playing in this game. I just listening to what he's saying. It sounds like he wants to be out there, which is great to hear. I like, Malik, but in this type of game, you need your starter out there. The Lions, they won here last year. Like I said, Love had actually a rough outing in that game. He threw 2 interceptions. I think he had a pretty bad completion percentage. So it might happen again. I just think this Lions team is too much. They're too much right now to handle whether Love is actually as the starter or not. That's why I picked the Lions. They're winning at every level. They're winning on offense. They're winning on defense. They're winning on special teams. They're winning with coaching. It doesn't matter. Jared Goff, by the way, this is insane. Since week 3, he's had 10 touchdowns to no interceptions. Pretty good. 972 yards. Hasn't turned the ball over. That's really good. This is where it gets kind of laughable. In those games, he has 144.89 passer rating and an 85% completion percentage. He is playing lights out. He's protecting the ball. Good. He doesn't make mistakes. That's really good. I'm pretty sure that's leading the NFL, obviously, in most of those. And he's protecting the ball. He doesn't make stupid mistakes. This team, again, it's a tough task defensively to prepare for them. I said after those stats, okay, buddy, like that's insane. Like that's ridiculous. I like this Packers team. The key matchup is, of course, obviously the Green Bay defense versus this Lions offense that's hitting on all cylinders. They're going to have a day against them to continue to create turnovers. They've done really well in that. I don't know if they're still leading the NFL in turnovers, but they got to still be up there. They got to give their offense good field position just to be in this game. I feel like if the Lions play their normal game, the Packers they gotta defensively, they're going to have a day to really show up.
Yeah.
Especially on third down. This Lions team is very efficient. Again, they don't turn the ball over. They don't make mistakes. They're well coached. You as a defense have to eliminate all the mistakes. You have to eliminate all the missed assignments, the missed tackles, all of it. It has to go out the window when you're playing a team like this. So I'm interested to see if Green Bay defensively has, like they've been doing, plays, gets a couple turnovers, maybe forces some punts, then they got a shot. They really do.
Yeah.
But
I think they need to get that run game going as well. When Josh Jacobs is moving for the Packers, like they play pretty well.
Yeah, if they could take some pressure off Love, he's kind of he's like throwing like so many touchdowns. Has forced some balls, but yeah, like you said, Josh, it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be good.
I agree. Let's look at our power rankings for week 9.
I think this is turning into a fan favorite here.
Is it?
I hope so.
Well, let's start. I have the Chiefs at number 1. They haven't moved for me, unfortunately. They're still there.
Yeah, I believe I don't know if you had the same top two, but I have the same top two. My number 1 is Kansas City at 7-0, and then my number 2 is the Lions at 6-1. They don't move for me at 1-2.
Yeah, the Lions. They also stay there for me at 2. And then like 3 through 6 has been weird. I just don't know like what to do here. I actually moved the Vikings up even at they lost. I didn't move the Vikings up. I just moved the Ravens down because their defense is just so. I mean, their pass defense, our pass defense, whatever. Just they didn't deserve to stay there, so I had to move them down. So the Vikings get pushed up to 3.
That's fair. I think with the 2 losses that you guys suffered, the Vikings and the Ravens, that's why I actually have Buffalo moving back up to 3 for me. They, on the road in Seattle to win like that is very convincing. I know they lost to you guys and kind of got blown out. They've had some games where they've just dominated teams, and then they've had some games where it's been kind of close, like the Jets game, and then they've gotten crushed by you guys. But I think with the acquisition of Amari and how the offense is starting to get rolling, Cook's back healthy. Like you said, the defense week by week has kind of improved a lot since your game against them. So I like Buffalo at 3. I just think of those 3 kind of teams right now, they just look the more, I want to say, consistent the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I agree.
Buffalo at 3.
The guy said I had the Ravens at 4, and then I have the Bills coming in at 5. Smoke their dumbasses.
That's fair. You guys do have the head-to-head over them. I think if you guys played them again today, it would be a lot different compared to what they were a couple weeks ago even. But give me the Vikings at 5-2 at the number 4 spot. They fall 1 spot for me. Again, I don't even really look at them as much of a loss. Like that game was a little weird, and then obviously the face mask call. But again, like you said, 3 through 6 is of all these teams play each other right now, I don't even know who would win.
Yeah, it's definitely a toss-up.
Yeah.
You want to go? You want to go?
Oh yeah, you had 2. Yeah, my 5 is Baltimore. So Minnesota and Baltimore fall. They say the same spots of each other, but they just fall 1 because of Buffalo moving up. Baltimore at 5-3. Like you said, the only question mark here is just the pass defense and maybe some situational football with coaching in the fourth quarter and stuff. You guys have fixed that a little bit, but yeah, pass defense. It's kind of unusual to see a Ravens defense like that. Obviously, you guys are great in the run, and you guys have good secondary like players. So like it's very strange to be this bad in the pass coverage department.
I mean, we just wouldn't be talking about it if Kyle Hamilton just catches the football that's tossed to him, but that's true.
You guys dropped a couple, so yeah.
Then I have the Packers coming in at number 6, 6-2. They've won 4 straight. That's all I gotta say. I mean, they're right there.
I have them at 6 as well. They actually don't move, even though there has been some movement in my top 10 in general. But they don't move because Love, like, we don't know if he's playing. Is he hurt? Who knows? I have a feeling they're going to lose to the Lions, so I didn't really want to bump them up off the win and then fall them right back down. So I have them at 6. I think they're a good football team. Love needs to stay healthy. It's the second injury already of the season. Yeah. We kind of need to not let that happen anymore. So they're at 6.
I have the Eagles coming in at number 7. I think obviously they're that Saquon drop away from being 6-1. Then they lost when they didn't have AJ Brown and Devonta Smith. They dominated the Bengals this week. I like their personnel. I don't like Nick Sirianni that much, but they're winning games and they dominated the Bengals, which is a good thing to see.
Yeah, I mean that team was in a Super Bowl recently for a reason. Like they're a good football team.
Yeah.
At number 7, I actually have my Steelers. They move up 2 spots after the win. We had back-to-back wins, I guess, but against the Giants. I just think like this roster is definitely one of the best rosters we've had since probably like 2018. Just both sides of the football. Defensively, I don't know if there's anyone better. I don't know if there's a better player on the defense side of the ball than who we have at our outside linebacker, and we are just a quarterback away that can make plays and keep up with the other great quarterbacks in the AFC, like Lamar, like Josh Allen, like Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs when he's looked like. So if Russ can just do enough, I like this team a lot. I didn't want to jump them too high. We are 6-2. we'll see how we look coming off the bye week. We have a tough schedule in the back half. So once we start playing in division and some of those tougher teams, I'll know what we are. But I got us at 7.
At number 8, I have the Texans. I don't love how they've been playing. They've been squeaking by games. Their offense doesn't look great, but I still believe in D'Amico Ryans. I like that defense a lot.
Yeah.
CJ Stroud, it's really the next couple of games, we're gonna really see if CJ Stroud is that guy or not. Playing like great quarterbacks play good with no weapons. I mean, they have Joe Mixon, who's obviously solid, but Tank Dell is the number 1 receiver right now. So we'll see how that goes for the Texans.
Yeah, I agree completely with everything you just said. It is big couple weeks for CJ. I will say one thing about watching this team of when I do, usually it's on Red Zone, but Will Anderson continues to just jump off the screen as outside linebacker. He is, I mean, getting CJ and Will Anderson in the same draft class, in 10 years from now, we're going to look back and say that's one of the best 1-2 picks we've ever seen, I think, because those two are just crazy. But I have Houston, again, agreeing with everything you said, at 8. Big couple of weeks. Like you said, they've kind of squeaked some games out. I love Ryans. Like, I think of these new and upcoming coaches, O'Connell for the Vikings, obviously what Dan Quinn's doing in Washington, not that he's new, but just some of these new faces or scenarios. D'Amico is still kind of like, I don't want to say an underdog, but less talked about. But what he's doing in just his second year, and even as a rookie when he had CJ Stroud, I just think what he's doing is very impressive. Big opportunity here to kind of show that they're for real with the injuries they have, but I have them at 8.
Nice.
They fall 1 spot, by the way.
I have the Commanders coming in at 9. I don't think they moved for me. I think I had them at 9 last week. Obviously, a big win on the road, that Hail Mary. They probably would have dropped out of the top 10 if they would have lost that game, which they probably should have, but they found a way to win. And they're still the top team, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I have the same them in the same spot. Them and Houston moved down 1, and my Steelers take the 2 jumps because, like you said, the way that both Houston and Washington have won, Washington only of last week, Houston kind of sometimes throughout the season, but Washington, we'll see how they look. Again, they're young. Like, they're way ahead of schedule, obviously, with the rookie quarterback. So for them, it's just build on each win. Like you said, they got blessed. They got lucky. Keep it up. Take it, take it into this week. Keep focused on the next team and see if you guys can bounce back and look better. But they're definitely still a top 10 team for sure.
And I have your Steelers coming in at number 10. They haven't moved.
Hey,
I mean, yeah, they're there. They were there last week. I just got to see you guys beat the Jets and the Giants with Russ. Like, I need to see something, beat one of these teams up in the top 10, and then I'll move you up.
Hey, after the bye week this week, we do play the Commanders. I think it's in Washington, so that'll be a good kind of maybe not for Jaden Daniels. We're typically really great against rookie quarterbacks, especially with the defense we have. I wouldn't be shocked if they move the ball pretty well because they've been doing that. But just as a defense, they're really good. So for our offense, I think it'll be a good test to see in 2 weeks of what we really look like. But
for sure,
at the 10th spot, I have the Eagles at 5-2. Again, it's tough. There's so many 6-2 teams to move Philly up. They did have a very convincing win. That's why they're back into my top 10. There's a couple of teams I can kind of mix. Even the 49ers at 4-4 can still be a top 10 team. But there's a couple of teams to kind of mix around in this bunch. But Philly, just how they played on the road, against the Bengals, they could have come out and looked sloppy. They could have come out and won by 3 points or even lost. But they came out and dominated. That offense looked really good. When everyone's healthy, like you said, when Brown's out there, when Smith's out there, Saquon, Hurts, they still have a good offensive line. I don't like Sirianni as much anymore as just a coach overall, but this team's got players everywhere. So they're definitely a top 10. They're deserving of a top 10 spot.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, top 10.
That's our power rankings for this week. Let's move into some college foosball.
The exciting league of the year so far.
Actually, I have a banger as our first game, which is also the matchup of the week. Ohio State goes to Penn State, our matchup of the week. This is a 12 p.m. game somehow. I'm going to be waking up early. I don't know if College Game Day is down there. I'm assuming it is.
It better be in College Station, boss.
How you feeling about this game? I mean, we'll talk about it later, obviously, but
yeah, we'll break it down a little bit. It is the matchup of the week. Another Big Ten matchup. I like to see that. 4 versus 3. It doesn't get much better. I'm going to take Ohio State. I'll explain why in a little bit. This is just it's honestly for everybody that's not a Penn State fan. This is just a hey, Penn State, show us what you got. Show us if you're real. Show us if you're for real. I don't think they are. Give me Ohio State on the road.
Yeah, I'm also on the Buckeyes against Penn State. I don't think Penn State hasn't had that prove it game for me. We'll break it down a little bit later, but yeah, Ohio State on the road, getting it done.
Then we got a first time appearance in the top matchups. We have the Minnesota Golden Gophers, 5-3 in the Big Ten. I think they're 5th as well. They've played good in conference play. I know they haven't played anybody great. They go on the road to Illinois, number 24, who is coming off of maybe the worst quarterback performance we've ever seen in the last decade. Has to be up there. Who do you got in this matchup?
I like Illinois to get it done at home. I don't think Minnesota is that good of a football team. I know they've been playing well, but I like Illinois at home.
Yeah, see, this week's slate for college wasn't that greatest. It's probably one of the worst ones we've had all year because it's usually been great. So we had to throw in this game. The spread's a little close, and I think the reason is because that quarterback play last week was very terrible. I've been notorious for taking stupid decisions and making stupid decisions all year for college. That's why I'm down like 8, and I'm going to continue to do so. Give me the Golden Gophers, baby, to go into Illinois. I can't believe in that quarterback after last week. I mean, are you kidding me? 3 pick sixes? What are we doing? Give me the Golden Gophers to go in.
That was Syracuse, but it's okay.
Oh, it's Syracuse. I'm thinking of another team. I'm still taking the Golden Gophers anyway because I'm notorious for doing stupid stuff. It's fine. Give me the Golden Gophers. They're 5-3 and they're like 5th in the Big Ten. That's a decent football team.
This should be a good game. I agree with you. That'll be a good game.
Give me Illinois. My fault, people. I was tripping. It's fine.
Don't tell me you're going to take the Gators, are you?
You're first on that one.
The Florida Gators go to number 2 Georgia. I'm going to pick the Bulldogs, obviously, at home against Florida. Florida has been playing well. I do like that team, but I think Georgia's kind of found a rhythm here. Give me the Bulldogs.
Yeah, this is an interesting SEC matchup here. Again, like I said, I've been notorious for doing stupid things, and I'm going to break it down as to why I'm going to continue to do stupid things. I hate Carson Beck. He's trash. He's absolute caca. Florida, by the way, has won 3 of the last 4. The only game they lost in those stretch has been at Tennessee. They lost by less than a touchdown. So they also routed Kentucky last week, and Kentucky's a good football team. Mind you, this Georgia team should have, if it wasn't for a pick 6 call back, to the same very Kentucky team that Florida just destroyed. And they only lost to Texas A&M by 13 points. This Florida team after week 1, when we dominated them, hasn't looked very terrible. So give me the Gators, baby, on the road in Athens. I don't care. Give me the Gators to win and beat the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs have a tough stretch coming up, and I just don't. I won't buy into Carson Beck. I can't do it. I can't do it.
If the Gators win, I can't wait for Tuesday's episode. That's for sure.
I won't be here. I'll take the week off. It'll be a solo podcast. I don't care. Give me the Gators.
All right. Moving on to an ACC matchup. Could be a banger. We'll see. Louisville goes to Clemson.
I think it actually will be.
Could be. I'm going to go with the home team here. I like Clemson. I think they've been playing really well defensively, especially since after losing to Georgia. Week 1, haven't missed a beat since then. I like Clemson here at home.
I'm going to take Clemson at home as well. Louisville's offense will put up points. They will move the football. That will probably be the only thing Clemson's got to be worried about is just keeping up and outscoring them. But Clemson since week 1 has looked really good. I will give credit to Dabo Swinney. I was kind of questioning him after that week 1 matchup. I didn't really think that Clemson was going to look as good as they do right now. But they got some good pieces. They got a good quarterback and running back that are kind of leading that offense right now, and I like them at home against the Cardinals.
We have kind of could be a banger, might be a slow game, honestly, a little defensive game. Wisconsin goes to Iowa. How you feeling about this game? I don't really know where I want to go yet.
Yeah, I know where I want to go because I like Wisconsin in the last couple of weeks. They've looked good. They should honestly have been in that game against Penn State more, and in my opinion, even won it if it wasn't for that pick six. I keep saying that, but it is kind of true. Iowa, they were, they started out the year, everybody was kind of questioning if they're for real. They're really not. On the road, I like Wisconsin. I think they just have a better team than Iowa. They've looked better, and I wouldn't be surprised, like you said, if it is a low-scoring kind of battle of a game. But give me the Badgers on the road.
Yeah, I'm leaning that way as well. I just don't like Iowa. They don't score a lot of points, and I don't think they will score against Wisconsin. Like, I think they probably score less than 10 points. I think Wisconsin can score at least 14 or 20 against Iowa. So give me Wisconsin on the road.
Yeah. And then lastly, we got a ACC matchup. Undefeated Pitt at 18 goes to, I think, 7-1. SMU, our only other, I think, top 25 matchup ranking of the week. I'll make this one, I don't want to say quick, but I don't actually even know where I'm leaning. You can pick first.
I think I'm going to go with the home team and SMU to give Pitt their first loss of the season. I like this SMU team. I think I watched their one game I forget who they lost to, but it wasn't a great loss, but I think they bounced back recently. Give me SMU to get it done and give Pitt their first loss.
Yeah, our stat guy just put this up on my screen for me. They lost to BYU.
That's
51 to 18.
That's right. They got smoked by BYU
at home.
Yeah.
Not great.
Yeah.
I do kind of agree with you. Both of these teams in the ACC are just like, just in the hunt, really. They're just there in the top 25. Pitt, undefeated. I don't know if they have any substantial wins on the season. I don't really remember who they've played, but
this is their toughest matchup, I believe.
Yeah, for sure. On the road, SMU's looked good other than that game against BYU. We've now seen that BYU's a good football team. Obviously, maybe not that good, but give me SMU, I agree, at home. If this game was in Pitt, I think this is just a coin toss of where the game's taking place. I wouldn't be surprised if Pitt wins this game. I like how they've been playing overall, but give me SMU at home.
What time's this game at? Do you have the?
It's late.
It's
late
game?
It is 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I like that better for SMU too.
Yeah, I agree.
Should be rowdy.
I agree. Looking at Pitt's schedule, the best teams they've beaten have been at Cincinnati, at home against Syracuse and California. That was the game I was talking about last week. They destroyed Syracuse, but.
Okay.
And they won at North Carolina.
Okay.
Not too bad.
Okay.
SMU's win.
I'm up 8 on you for the college football, and you just made like 2 dumb picks, but it's okay.
It's gonna be crazy when Georgia falls to like 8 and the Golden Gophers, baby.
They go
into Illinois. Kind of a short trip, and just take care of business
right there.
Let's move on to the matchup of the week. Another Big Ten banger. We had this earlier in the season with Ohio State, Oregon. We got Ohio State, Penn State now. Obviously, the big question everyone's asking, Penn State, you got a huge test on Sunday afternoon. Why is this game at 12 o'clock? Why is 4 playing 3 at noon? Who allowed this to happen? This should be a 7:30 ESPN type of game.
Kirk Herbstreit should be on the call for this one, but
100% agree. The game day better be in College Station. But let's break it down a little bit. Ohio State's only lost the season, like I said, on the road at Oregon, in my opinion. I think they should have won that game. The clock management down at the end there. Unfortunate circumstances. They had a couple opportunities in that game. But the eye test of this game, if you're not a fan of either of these teams, like me and Jason, if you're just looking at this from a glass half full perspective, Ohio State has passed the eye test besides the Nebraska game. That's the only game they kind of looked like, oh God. But other than that, they kind of win the eye test, in my opinion. The Lions, they've beaten Bowling Green, USC, Illinois, and Wisconsin. All those teams by a total of 39 points. That's less than almost a possession a game, really. It's 9 a game. That's not great, not very convincing. They should have lost to USC, in my opinion. They literally required like a Hail Mary of a game to win that. Ohio State, since 2022, has only allowed more than 17 points 2 times in now 2 years. That's very impressive. Obviously, one of those games was Oregon earlier in the season. I don't think Penn State's offense is going to be as successful against this Buckeyes defense. The Buckeyes defense, like I said, in the last 2 years has shown they know what they're doing. They're well coached. Especially Penn State's quarterback play. That's been a big question mark all season. Hasn't looked great. Hasn't looked terrible. Some weeks it has, but it hasn't consistently looked either one or the other. It's just been average. I just don't think that they're going to do what Oregon did against this Ohio State defense. I don't think Penn State's going to look like that. The key matchup, if they do want to come out on top, is the offense of Penn State versus this Buckeyes defense. The best thing for the Lions, the only thing they can really hope for is if they have a similar game plan to what Nebraska did, kind of capitalize off that, the mistakes that Ohio State was making, some of the blown coverages they had, and letting the run game kind of dictate that. That's what they got to do to attack the Buckeyes. But overall, I just think I'm not high on Penn State, and I would like them to prove me wrong here. I think a lot of people would like them to prove them wrong. They've had Franklin forever now as a coach. They've always done the same thing, kind of. They get in the top 10, they get around 8, 7, and then they lose to the Ohio States. They lose to the Michigans. And these are the games that you need to win to make a run. Obviously, thank God that the playoff is 12 teams now instead of 4, so they got a little bit of room for error. But this is a big prove-it game. They've done the same thing over and over in the Big Ten. And if they want to make a statement game, you got to beat the big brother of the Big Ten, and they have an opportunity to do that at home.
Yeah, I agree with everything you just said. I have a lot of similar points, but I've been pretty down on this Penn State team like all season. Even though they are 7-0, they've beaten who's on their schedule. But to me, they don't look like the number 3 ranked team in the country. Yeah. They beat Bowling Green by 7 points. A 3-3 USC team took them to overtime. They also have a question mark at quarterback this week. Drew Aller went down with a knee injury last week against Wisconsin. But I don't think it really matters who's going to be playing at quarterback. Ohio State definitely looks like the better team. Like you said, they did hold on to beat Nebraska last week, but they had a missed field goal. Will Howard had a weird interception. He still needed a late touchdown drive. Will Howard delivered on that, took the lead back, then defense gets a game-sealing interception to hold off Nebraska. But I think Will Howard will be the reason Ohio State wins this football game against Penn State. I think that defense also shows up and makes it hard for the Nittany Lions to score points. They've only given up over 17 points once this season, and that was obviously to the Oregon Ducks and Dylan Gabriel and that offense. But Penn State, I think they're going to have to rely on the run game. And the Ohio State defense, I think they'll be ready for that. I think they're going to make Drew Aller or the backup beat them with their arm, and it's just not going to work out. And I think a mix of that defense and then Will Howard on the offensive side for Ohio State is just going to be too much for Penn State to win this football game. I do think if Penn State can keep this somewhat close and have a respectable game, they won't drop down too far in like the rankings and still be eligible to get into that playoff. I don't think it's a must win to get into the playoff for Penn State. Just be respectable, have a competitive game in the fourth quarter, and they should be good. Ohio State, on the other hand, I don't think they can lose this game and have 2 losses in the Big Ten.
Probably not.
No. I don't think so.
No. I think one of the big things that's unfortunate for Penn State here is that this isn't a night game. That stadium, those fans, they love to take advantage of that. We've seen it with the whiteouts and the blackouts and all that stuff. That's unfortunate. Kind of a loss for Penn State. I feel like if this was at night, it would lean more in their favor. They could still do it as a fan, as fans to kind of impact the game. But at noon, that's just a weird time for these two teams to play. Yeah. Unfortunate for the Lions, but again, a big prove-it game. A lot of question marks leading into this game. Quarterback, coach, Franklin, like always losing to the big brother. We'll see how they look on Saturday. I'm excited.
Yeah, should be a good game. I'm excited. I'm excited it's early, but I'm also not because like we get a really good football game at noon. But it's like it should be.
This is 7:30 written all over it.
Luckily for Ohio State, like you said, they're probably happy it's not at 7.
Yeah.
But let's move on to our underdog slip of the week. We are hitting this one. We are hitting this one.
Like, y'all don't understand. Like,
we are locked in this
one.
This
is like mortgage on it. It's hitting.
If you're not on Underdog and you want to tail this slip, because these 4 props are hitting, use code WOOD on Underdog. Get a $1,000 deposit match. Also, I believe it's Colts and Vikings. It's probably Justin Jefferson to have over a yard in that Sunday night game. That is obviously a lock. That's a free pick. Use code WOOD. Little gimme. Use code WOOD on Underdog. $1,000 deposit match and the free pick. Let's get into it. I'll start it off. Aaron Jones. Higher than 20.5 receiving yards. He's hit this in 6 straight games. The only game he didn't hit this in was week 1. I don't know why the line's at 20.5. It doesn't really make sense to me. I'll take Aaron Jones over 20.5 all day long.
Yep, like that one. Let's keep it rolling with Lamar Jackson over 216.5 passing yards. He's hit this easily in 6 of the last 8 games this year. They just added Deontay Johnson as well to the receiving core. And as we've seen with the Ravens, they give up a lot of yards in the air themselves. Lamar's kind of had to do it on, to keep up. So I like him to go for over 216 yards this week.
I like that. And then I like Nick Chubb, higher than 52.5 rushing yards. He ran for 52 on the dot against the Ravens defense last week. The Ravens have the best rush defense in the NFL as far as yards. I think he could finally have like a Nick Chubb type of game that we haven't seen that yet. Obviously, he's only played 2 games, but they play the Chargers. I know they have a decent defense, but I think Nick Chubb can really get things going against them. 52.5 yards feels way too low for Nick Chubb.
Yeah, Chubb's getting that. Chubb-Alinsky's getting that. Let's get it. Lastly, rolling on the 4-legger, Kyle Pitts, over 39.5 receiving yards. He's destroyed this in the last 3 games. Dallas looks awful. I don't think they do not have an answer for him at linebacker or safety. And the one thing I will say about the Falcons is they're finally utilizing one of the best talents we've ever seen coming out of college at tight end. He's destroyed this prop every week. I like him to keep it rolling. They're really utilizing. Like, he's becoming like a Kelsey and a Gronk was. Like, he's a real threat out there, and they're using him really well. Those are hitting.
I mean, those have never not hit.
Those have never not hit. And you get a free, slip when you sign up.
Yeah.
Little gimme pick. Add that to the leg.
Get like a 20x or something like that, probably.
Yeah, a little multiplier, a little profit boost.
Easy money.
That's the episode.
We had a big-ish week. Not the biggest week we've had, but a big week.
The games were, I will say the matchups of the week are kind of bangers. Yeah. Overall, kind of we're getting into the season where these games are going to start getting real important, especially for college, when we start breaking down the playoff, picture and everybody,
if how the Ravens lose to the Broncos, the season's over.
If the Ravens lose to the Broncos, listen, guys. If Florida doesn't beat Georgia and the Ravens lose to the Broncos, there might not be an episode next week. All right? There won't be an next week. That's our episode, though. Exciting. Again, kind of close picks in the NFL and in college between us two. That underdog slip is hitting. We got good matchups of the week. Maybe, one of the best matchups we've had all season at 12 o'clock on Saturday. It's Halloween. Enjoy the night if you're going trick-or-treating, if you're going to a haunted house. Maybe if you're just chilling watching a movie, like I probably will be, because that's what I do on Halloween. This is now the 5th year I will be watching the original Halloween on Halloween. And I'm going to keep that streak going.
It's going to be scary watching the Jets play football tonight. That's what's going to be scary.
That'll probably be more horrifying than any movie we watch tonight. So, but that's the episode. We appreciate you guys. Hey, in the last episode, we had a giveaway. If you don't know, go to that video and enter. You got to leave a comment and subscribe and like. The rules are in the start of that video. Be sure to check that out. $50 giveaway for appreciating you guys. We love you guys. Enjoy Halloween. Enjoy Thursday Night Football. If you're a Dodgers fan, congratulations. Carson Beck sucks, and the Steelers and Ravens are at the top of the AFC North as usual.
I'm going to the Ravens game next week.
And he's going to the Ravens game. I can't really go to the Steelers game because I don't live there, but
against the Bungholes.
Against the Bungholes. That might be another 54-50 game, but
probably. We appreciate you guys.
We love
see
you.
next week. Deuces.